Hello my friends and welcome back. It is episode 67. And what I've done is I have, in between the last episode and this one, I've just cleaned out my whole roster. And unequipped all my heroes. Since this mission has half the supply of the previous one, we are going to need to rebuild our force from the beginning. The sort of an issue with this kind of mission is like, I mean, my understanding is this is the last mission. We don't really need to stockpile anything though, because we got great stockpiles of stuff, so we really don't have to worry about that. But when the core slot counter just keeps going up and up and up and up, what you can do is you can just build on your existing army without really having to change very much. But of course, if you suddenly have half the core slots, then you've got to reassess everything from the ground up. Now, what's interesting is, I just took the Noble Fallzerg. The Noble Fallzerg. I have no idea how this is pronounced in German. Please don't kill me, German fans. I took this out just to see where the deployment zones were, and I looked here and I saw, I saw deployment zones here, and I was like, okay, right, that's about what I expected. But there's also deployment zones here, here, and here. Now, if you read the objective carefully, all you have to do is hold Reserve. I don't know how that's pronounced, but all you have to do is hold it at the end of the battle. And the convoy vehicles just have to survive. So I thought erroneously that what you had to do was evacuate the convoy. But you don't have to evacuate the convoy, the convoy just has to survive. You'll also note that there do not appear to be any reinforcement zones on this map. So we can only presume that the enemies that are on the map are, that's it, that's all, that's the full excuse me. That's the full deployment. There's not going to be any more. And here we can see a lot of infantry and 2 airports. We have an area occupied by the enemy here, and we have an area occupied by the enemy down here. Now, God, I don't know why I've started sneezing like crazy, but here we are. So, with that in mind, with those thoughts in our head, all we really need to do is have a skeleton crew hold this position, deploy some serious hardware here if possible, race up here and clear this area, and then just tuck this convoy away in the corner. Seems pretty reasonable. And what we do need is we need something that's going to hose down this infantry like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so looking at the deployment zone, this is the closest we can get to this front line. And we definitely want to get up there ASAP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tiles away. And we're definitely not going to make it on the first turn, no matter what we use. But what we want is some kind of infantry destroying monstrosity. Now you think that this would be ideal because it's got 16 soft and 16 hard, and it's got rapid fire built in. However, we can also consider something Russian. So here's our full team here, which I've converted back to German units, so that, well, most of them I've converted back to German units so that I can see how many Russian tanks I've got lying around. And I was thinking what we'll do is take a tank. Okay, and we're not going to go German tanks because they're rubbish. We could zero slots an expensive tank. The question is, which one? T-3440. Do I've got T-3441s. Honestly, there's very little difference between the T-3441 and the 40, apart from the fact that it costs a whole slot more. So what if we... Because we want to clean out all this infantry up here. I mean, that's all I can see, is all that infantry. We've got the same anti-infantry attack power as this. So, what if we put double strike on this? Because the issue with the Nebelferzerg, or whatever the hell it's called, is that it only has 4 ammo. So it runs out of ammo very quickly if you're going to go for a steamrolling machine. Rapid fire 1.5x. So these two will allow this tank to absolutely crush infantry squads. Hopefully in one shot. I don't think that any of the enemy infantry is going to be entrenched. Zero slots. We could save that for a big fat artillery, actually. Well, hang on. Let's put it at this for now. So if I put it like this, okay. So now my question is, yeah. So actually, the 41 model does have 1 extra ammo, and that would be very useful for a double strike tank. And a little bit more initiative, but that's not important. So, let's go with this, and since that takes up so many slots, we'll then zero slot it. Okay. The great infantry murderer is ready. Ready to crush all of this, hopefully. You'll note that my nearest airport is all the way back here. It's going to be cloudy as part of the first turn. Right, now we've deployed a unit, we don't have to have that lying around. Okay. Now... we have the city objective that we need to protect. And for this, I have a plan, or I have an idea. So I have 2 artilleries here. They're not actually maxed out yet either. think the 21cm gun is maxed out. This one is not. Okay. So, if you put... If you put readiness on artillery, it will always strike first. So what that means is, if I put readiness on this, Kloss and counter battery, where's my counter battery gone? Here we go. So if I put these on, then what that means is that this artillery can entrench in this tile. Once fully entrenched, of course, it will be pretty much immune to damage. But what it also means is that when the enemy attacks it, it's going to shoot first. Which means they're going to end up suppressed before they can even do anything. Now, interestingly... And it's got counter battery as well, so if artillery attacks it, it's going to counter-attack. What this sort of means is that if I then do something similar with this, we can create a circle of artillery that's basically impossible to touch. So if I go with the 21cm here, we'll zero slots this thing because it's very expensive, which I should have lying around somewhere. There's readiness. Now, normally I wouldn't put readiness on an readiness or artillery support on a 21cm gun because it's usually better on another unit that doesn't have the suppression trait. But for this particular setup, well, I'll hold artillery support for now. But readiness is necessary. I should have a second zero slot, so I've only got one equipped right now. Did I somehow scroll past it? This hero system is actually being changed, spoiler alert. It's going to be more easier to use. There we go. So if I put these two on, then what that means is that you can't attack this either without taking a face full of damage. Now, the next thing to do is to add the other 15cm. Now, do I want it here on the front line where it can entrench, or here? This will be a funny strategy if it works. If it works as I think it's going to work, it's going to be hilarious. Okay, there's my other readiness. Okay, actually, let's pick this one up and put it down here. So now what this means is that it is impossible to attack this with either hard or soft or artillery without taking at least 2 hits before you even get to fight. Now, of course, the last step is to add some anti-aircraft guns, of course. We have our 2 favorite buddies. Let's go with here. Hang on. Field repairs, lethal, and where's my camouflage? Okay, so now if I put this here, and you may be thinking to yourself, uh-oh, tank in a close combat tile. But there's no way to attack it without taking hits from both of these. And that is going to be a very bad time. What we'll do is we'll make this one lethal as well. So when someone attacks, they are really going to hurt for it. What we could do is we could actually put artillery support on this one. And what that would do is that would mean that anyone who attacked this or this would also get hit by this, which with its soft is not actually terrible. It's got a soft of 4. And it has to stay in anti-air mode because that's the only way it's going to actually defend itself. Interested. I'm very interested to see if this all artillery defense will work. While I'm busy over here, because my plan is to deploy my main body of my tank force here and clear this area, and then come back and clear my way back to the position that I'm defending here. Okay, what I need to do as well is defend this airport. Or defend this airport. Now we were told we might see the return of enemy aircraft. So that means it's probably a wise idea to bring the old Hurricane back out. And maybe one Bowfighter. And a scout plane. Okay. I can deploy there. Oh, I can deploy here, like right on the front line. That'll do me nicely. Because that's where I want to be. Okay, so in terms of fighters, we just set this guy up exactly how we did before. Double strike. Yeah, we'll stick them both on here and put first strike on. Or hit and run. Actually, the initiative on this thing is absolutely terrible. Let's go. Where are you, first strike? Man, going through the heroes page is such a pain in the ass. There we go. Okay, so we have a fighter. A scout plane. Alright. Got all the makings of a killing machine, this man. I think I have 3 no retaliations. And a couple of hit and runs. But this one needs no retaliation because the initiative is terrible. So, he's not going to be able to defend himself because I haven't got a readiness for him anymore with my artillery strategy. And I don't think there's anything else I want to do with him, so that'll do. Except maybe increase the size of the squad. Okay, this air support should definitely help me hold the line here. Okay, this is my buddy, my anti-air here. Let's put self-repair on this, because we don't... I still don't have a good replacement for this. I don't think there's anything else that's really useful for this. Maybe make it unyielding and no surrender, just to make sure it doesn't surrender. Can't imagine a world in which things go that badly, but okay. Alright, okay, so... It's so amusing to me if you watch all the enemies just attack into this and actually not be able to do anything to it. Why is this only showing 2 ammo, weirdly? 5 of 2. So weird. Oh, it's going to be something to do with me moving cloths around, isn't it? Interestingly, aggressive counterattack would now work. With this, since it's going to be on the front line. Let's go with unyielding. Make sure that that particular unit cannot be suppressed. Okay, now we do have the potential for being attacked from behind here, and not just from down here. So my question becomes, should I run the old surrender cheese again? And I figure, why not? So let's brush this one up. I'm picking tanks that haven't got a lot of experience, so that they've got some chance to gain some EXP. Overwhelming attack. Got 3 of them lying around. There's the second one. And there's the third. Oh, I've got an expert support there. I believe that actually stacks with this, so I should probably put this on here. There we go. Okay. To go with overwhelming attack, of course, they require either envelopment or shock tactics. There's shock tactics. Envelopment. Shock tactics is better than envelopment, but it doesn't really matter for the purpose of this unit. And then obviously we need no retal. Or hit and run. That's a slightly less good no retaliation. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Now these guys will be the stewards of my rear. What I will do is, I think it's wise to also put a scout plane here. I've got one. Oh, the JU-87D is here. Okay, so now in theory, these tanks can wander off and attack things and make them surrender, and that's not a problem. And this little block of units should be impossible to attack unless they get a complete surround on them. Right. So we've got air support here, but so far we've only got one tank and one anti-aircraft gun to race up here. So obviously this front needs more help. Now the real question is, do I want an infantry unit? And I think I do. If only because I have infantry only heroes and I can sort of give them tank capability. So what I can do is I can put Ola on there. And old Helmet. Now this is going to make them just so ridiculously quick. Now the question is, what else do we put on there? I think with all this initiative, they will almost certainly get all of their shots off first. So I'll put reduced slots on and I'll crank them up to max size. Just a way of using up. Otherwise, good heroes would be sat there just not doing anything if I didn't have any infantry at all. But I'm not using infantry for the defense here. Although I could have done, and I could have, for example, put it here and moved the AA gun here. I mean, that also works. Do you know what? I think that actually makes more sense. As much as I feel like this this strategy will work perfectly, if I put this here and instead put artillery support on it, now it's just a really nasty tile blocker. And there's no need to over-strengthen it for that purpose. I can always reposition the anti-aircraft gun somewhere else in the open. As long as I park it next to an artillery, it should be fine. Right. Now we have a lot more infantry over here to kill. So the question is, do we bring how about we bring those flame tanks? Or how about we bring some tanks? Or we could bring some recon cars, because they are also very good against infantry. And they might be useful in enabling this tank to actually get kills. That seems like a good idea to me, so let's bring those. These guys used to be river waders. Let's max them out, full power. What's going on here? Not quite enough for full power. So funny that this thing has not actually got a camo, but it's not doing anything special, it's just killing things quick. He already has ignores entrenchment. Probably help with aim assist. Okay. Because of the way I've built these, I actually don't really have a good position for a reduced slots unit. Sort of the weakness with reduced slots. Is it doesn't really it doesn't help you get units for free, as it were. You still have to partially pay for them, which means, depending on how you've set things up, it can be very expensive. Okay, so we'll make this evasive artillery support. We'll add reduced slots because why not? Because we can. Give this yellow camo. I am trying something totally different for this map. Using a artillery for frontline defense. Now, in theory, we could afford another recon car. Ah, we can just oversize what we've got. Ignores entrenchment. Let's go with hit and run. I have lots of hit and runs lying around. Let's make it prudent so it's hard to kill. I think that was the camo for a tough unit. One tough recon, one artillery support recon. This will actually be great because if I was to put this in the middle of these trucks, then any infantry that attack them would be horribly hosed for it. Okay, this is a weird army that I have put together. But hey, it should be fun. Now all I need to do is spend my last 2 slots, I guess. Where's the one that's not got no retail? No, they've all got no retail. Can't stack the heroes any higher. Sure, why not? Okay, this should be interesting. I wonder if it's going to work. Actually, you know what, I got a better idea. Hopefully I've still got enough of these left. Actually, that's a good question. How many of those mighty fine anti-aircraft guns have I got left? 2. There's definitely not enough to run 2 15 stacks. Okay, so my idea is to take this small elite force, bring it up here. This recon car and this anti-aircraft gun will defend the convoy, while these two will just plow straight into the infantry and just start killing them. We have full air support available. The weather is not going to be great. It's going to be cloudy. Sunny on the first turn, cloudy on the next. But more than adequate for us to just really start laying in. There's an airport here and an airport here, so we should run the recon plane to try and see both of those. And if there's any aircraft, we should shoot them down straight away. Take the squad in. I've got an airport behind us as well, so we'll something else to worry about. Take the squad in, clear the area, clear this area, and then with this lot secured, we should be able to just go and sweep across here. These areas will probably be taken by the enemy. It's not going to matter. Once we've cleared this area, we'll just sweep back across. All we have to do is protect this convoy and keep this tile. That's all we have to do. So, anything else is a bonus. And this is my entrenched artillery defense setup here, where you can't attack any of the artillery without being hit by all the other artillery and being hit by the artillery you're attacking. So that should be interesting. If it works, like it should do, it's gonna make it's gonna mean that the AI cannot, with any unit, attack these without being completely destroyed, which would be very amusing to watch. Also, I can't wait for the aircraft to have a go when I've got a camoed anti-aircraft gun just sat there. That's going to be very entertaining too. In fact, what I should probably do, just thinking about it, is if I take this one down to 11, take this one up to 15, because this is the one that's going to be busy defending the artillery. This one is just here to deter the enemy off the convoy while my air force cleans up any aircraft. Because as long as the weather is good, old Bar is going to be shooting down Russian planes every turn until there are none left. So, okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed deployment. I hope this quirky little strategy works. Should do. It's going to be fun finding out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.